Hello and welcome to my Gauntlet Dark Legacy review for the Gamecube. This game is a hack-and-slash action-adventure game released in 2000 in the arcades, which was then ported to GameCube, PS2, and Xbox in 2002. Now, for those who'd never played the Gauntlet series back in the day when it was actually good, this is a dungeon crawler series usually found in the arcades, mostly known for the four-person multiplayer and its humor. Until 2005, when they screwed over the series with Gauntlet 7 Sorrows, which most likely is what led to the developers going bankrupt. The series was recently kind of revived by Warner Brothers, but this game just felt like Diablo with a Gauntlet skin over it, and not a true successor to the classic series. The story for this game is an evil demon named Scorn was being controlled by a wizard using 12 magical runestones. However, Scorn broke free of the runestones' control, imprisoning the wizard into the underworld and scattering the runestones across the 8 worlds. It is now your job to pick one of 8 heroes and travel across the 8 worlds to collect the runestones and stop Scorn. Now, these 8 characters are set up into 4 different classes, with each one having a different primary stat than the others. And therefore, the knight has the most armor, archer has the most speed, the wizard has the most magic. You get the idea. The gameplay is what this game is really known for, though. As I said before, this is a hack-and-slash game where you kill hundreds of enemies just charging through the level, destroying everything in your path. You have 2 different types of attacks. You can either use your standard ranged attack, or just go all in and smash them in the face if you really want to. You'll also find potions throughout the levels that can be used in magical blast around you that deals tons of damage, put a shield around you, or thrown. It will also have special effects when you reach a higher level. Every character also has 2 different turbo attacks you can use when things get really messy and want everything to get completely demolished. Only you have to wait for these attacks to recharge. Controls are pretty simple, but it is not really actually possible to explain them because there are 3 different control styles you can choose from which have different button layouts. Now, every world will have either 5 or 6 levels, the last of which, of course, being the boss. The bosses in this game are pretty interesting, though. However, because of spoilers, I will not be showing footage of them. Some of these levels are really cool designs later in the game, and will make you wonder how someone even came up with this stuff. And every boss will have their own legendary item that is used against them and found in a specific level to help with killing that boss. One thing I never understood, though, was that the items used against these bosses are almost always found level after the boss. Hooray for logic! These items can be pretty useful sometimes, because most of the bosses that can move will just not get off you and keep comboing all day. However, this is also where an issue lies. A few of these weapons are completely glitched beyond belief and barely ever work, not to mention one specific weapon, about a third of the way through the game, does not work at all in the GameCube version for literally no reason. The graphics in this game are not really good at all, even for the time of the release. It was a port of an arcade game, but that isn't really an excuse for these graphics to look so pixelated. Maybe this was a good thing, however, because the GameCube version seems to have a really inconsistent, glitchy frame rate compared to the other versions of the game. More specifically in the tower where you enter all the levels, where it drops all the way down to 15 FPS when it really should not. The game also has many other massive glitches, such as the ability to skip parts of the game by glitching through barriers and transferring gold between characters. I'm not sure if it's just my disc, but the game has crashed multiple times when picking some characters and also reading the hint scrolls that you find throughout the levels. The multiplayer can also be pretty annoying sometimes because you can't walk through another player. So in tight areas you'll probably be slamming into each other like a bunch of retards, yelling at your friends to get out of the way so you can unlock the gate. The music in this game is absolutely outstanding, with a few of the boss themes being some of my favorite songs of all time, and there is nothing more classic than spawning in the first level and hearing its theme. Gauntlet Dark Legacy is a very good game. Gameplay that will make you never want to drop the controller and just keep going. The length of the game is pretty good considering this was originally an arcade game, with so many different characters to play as, with some unlockable later on in the game. Boss fights are pretty interesting, although a bit frustrating sometimes. Fun but annoying multiplayer, good humor, and the music is just amazing. Downsides are the glitchy frame rate, a massive amount of flat-out mind-blowingly dumb glitches, and the graphics are pretty outdated. But overall, this is a really good game you should definitely try out if you ever have a chance. It's one of my favorite games of all time. This game gets a 4.25 out of 5, with the title of Amazing.